To start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakat, Kwadash. Double honours to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teacheth the Bible in 100% truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. Shalom to the 144,000, the nation of Israel, consisting of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the land of the Americas, as well as the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners living amongst the other nations. Shalom to you. Okay, today's is a real quick short one. I was looking at some other bits of information together, but I just decided to put this different short video together because I was given some news today, and the news I was given was that someone I know has passed away. And people pass away all the time. I never really find it. People they seem to sort of be very overwhelmed when people die or pass away. I mean, if you're going to have someone close to you pass away, yeah, it's going to be difficult. But at the same time, obviously, understanding the scriptures, you understand that when someone passes away, they're obviously, in the spirit world. A lot of people out in the world here who don't understand what we understand by, going through the scriptures and understanding them in their truth. When someone passes away, it's a great mystery, and part of that mystery is what adds to the mourning or the woe of the person who's suffered the loss. So you see people, they sort of weep, and they're sort of uncontrollably. You've seen people sometimes, they like screaming uncontrollably and things like that, and they don't know where this person's gone. They don't know, they think they're never going to see them again. They think they've just vanished, and obviously part of being upset is the fact that they can't see the person. You may have left a family behind. That's that's understandable, but obviously we understand the scriptures, so we understand that when you pass away, your spirit goes to the spiritual world. You're still about. You still exist as a soul, and you'll be back in your father's bloodline. So and it could happen quite quickly through third or fourth generation. So you kind of got to take that into account and sort of be balanced. That's the scriptures are about balance. If you're calling on Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, you believe the Holy Spirit's on you. And you're going through the scriptures, you're trying to study and find out what's going on. You have to understand that balance is a major thing. Yes, the Most High could have just made everything perfect, and we could just be living in a perfect world from the beginning. But then, would you really understand why you shouldn't be wicked? But by living, through this wicked kingdom and other wicked kingdoms that we've been in the past, once we live in that perfect world, we can then say, we understand why it's good to be righteous and perfect, for example. Now, back to what I was saying. So this particular person, my friend, his name's Leon, and I found out he passed away today. Now, it was the way in which he passed away which got me. Because he took what I found out is he took the jump shot. Something that, you obviously, when you listen to this channel, you're going to hear me a lot speaking. If you hear anybody else speaking the truth of the Bible, for example, the men of GMS, then you're going to hear people telling you, you don't take the jump shot, the thing that they were offering you in 2020, 21, 22. And we're saying that it's going to come again. This time it'll be the MOTB. It'll be a financial crash. There could be pestilence, disease, people coughing all over the place. And you're going to go through a very similar situation, but this time it's going to be on maximum overdrive. So whatever pressure you felt, in that scenario 2020, 21, that scenario that affected the whole world, you might have felt pressurized in your job or certain scenarios. Well, come the time of the MOTB, the time of Jacob's trouble, which is fast approaching, the pressure is going to be 100 times more. And so back to this person, Leon. So he took that thing, and I heard that obviously soon after that he had an issue. So what it is, I was ringing around for him because I'm ringing the guy. I'm ringing him today, and I'm like just getting like cancelled call. The call keeps cancelling, so I'm getting confused because he obviously he's a tradesman. He works on electrics. I've had a problem in my house the last few days, and water pipes causing me problems. So I've had to like repair them, and now I've got to move my electric cables out the way because whoever done the house in the beginning is a headache. So what it is with my friend Leon, I can ring him and I can say to him, look, I want to extend this cable. What gauge cable do I need? And he'll give me all the rundown. He's a qualified electrician, so he knows his stuff, and I know bits and bobs. So sometimes I ring him and say, yeah, well, I need to do this, I need to do that. What can I use? What size cable? Whatever. Couldn't get through, so I'm ringing around. Then I got through to someone. What's going on? Where's Leon? Because if he's a tradesman, and his phone is getting cancelled, I'm thinking, this guy's like left the trade, because a tradesman would always have his phone for years. And then and then I got told, he passed away. So I was like, why? What happened? Blah blah blah. Oh, he took the jump shot. And I'm like, fucking hell. So Leon is a guy that knows he's an Israelite, and if I had a book, one book of people I believe, wouldn't take the jump shot or wouldn't take the MOTB, he'd be in it. But I was wrong. He took it. And then I was like, so why did he take that? Apparently it's about a year and a bit. So probably looking at beginning of 2023. So the next question I asked was, why did he take it? And then I was told that he needed to get a flight. So in order to get the flight, he had to get the jump shot. He took the jump shot, he took the flight, he came back, and then he was sick, and then he went to hospital, couldn't breathe, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. It never survived. So that was that. Like, pretty much, took it, and then within a month or something, and that was it. He wasn't here no more. So like now, me getting given that news today, and I'm standing there, I'm thinking to myself, well, if I saw him now, the only thing I would want to say to him is, why did you take it? And I don't know what he'd say, because I've had many conversations with him. Like I've explained before, obviously how I came to the truth, how I found out I was a Hebrew Israelite, I had a vision. And even around that time, I was chatting to him, I was looking, like, I think what happened before the vision, Yahweh Hashem, how shall I put a spirit on me? So it's about 6 months before that, I was just looking at conspiracy theories all the time. I don't know why, I just got into that frame of mind, and I started looking up, did they really go to the moon? Did they do this? And I remember talking to him one day, and he said to me about UFOs in the Bible. So I was thinking, I don't know, it just didn't really register. And then I think about a week or two after that, I had the vision from Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the angel came and showed me the 3,000 years. You're a Hebrew Israelite, but all this basically said the Bible's for you, and so you translate it from there, and so on and so forth. And then I even went back to him after that, and I was like, Leon, blah blah blah, and I know obviously at first, like most people, they probably hear it and they just like, yeah, okay. But obviously as the next 6 months went on by, and I kept hitting him with more and more information, and then he realised, he said to me, yeah, something happened to you. And I said, yeah, Yahweh Hashem Shai showed me a vision. So now I'm telling, when I went to him and said, oh bro, you're a Hebrew Israelite, he said, yeah, I know. I was like, you never said nothing to me. He goes, well, why would I? And I'm like, so then it just blew my mind. So then, we were talking about things and so on and so forth. And then it got to the point over the years, over the last, 2018, so 6 years, 5 years probably, because about a year ago, over the course of the 4 or 5 years, I got to know the scriptures a lot better. He's been in he knew he was a Hebrew Israelite from the 90s. But he's, I'm 44, he's probably a year or two older, 45, 46. But imagine this, I've got into the truth, I've started to learn the scriptures, then I realised he's going off on loads of things. And then I started telling him, like, you need to cut the hair. And he knew, he wouldn't argue, I don't remember him arguing about the hair. But I said to him, you're a Hebrew Israelite, you call on Yahweh, but your hair, he had Rasta hair. It's from Barbados. I think it was from Barbados. and his hair was straight up down his back, dreadlocks. And I remember, when I found out, about the Shiva Jatra demon and all that kind of stuff, I showed him the videos, and I was like, bro, look, blah blah blah, and he knew, because it's not like he had some big argument and he came at me like, with anger. He knew what I was saying, but he didn't get round to it. I don't, whatever goes on in people's minds is whatever goes on. A couple of things he tried to explain to me about what a graven image was, he got wrong, and I had to tell him, no, this is what a real, look at the scriptures, look at the Paleo Hebrew, so on and so forth. So what it is, he was kind of there, but he weren't quite there. But he called on Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, which is good. But then, so like I say, I had him in my book. I was thinking, he'd be one of them people. And I remember talking to him in 2020, 2021, and he stayed away from the jump shot. And so I was like, okay, cool. And then to not be able to get hold of him, to ring around to find out, where's he gone? Oh, he's dead. Oh, why is he dead? Oh, because he took the jump shot. And I was like, fucking hell. And apparently he developed a blood clot. So he's taken it. He's taken his flight. He's come back within the month. Bang, he's in the hospital. And he's left. What's he left behind? 4 or 5 kids. But then I started tapping it in. The clots. I don't really want to go into the terminology. I was just doing a little bit of research. This is last updated in April this year, and this is UK Research and Innovation. And they're pretty much going into the research that they want to do. You can see here they're studying the link between the jump shot and the clots. So, we knew this. We don't need some big medical people to come along with their with their pieces of paper and their conclusions and their investigations to tell us, 2 years down the line you finally realise there's a link. Well, we could see that with our own eyes just by watching people. And what they're saying here in this particular thing is, they're talking about rapid response, because their thing is how quick it can happen. So the reason why it's linked is because you have the jump shot, and then the thing comes quite quickly. What they're studying here comes quite quickly after it, so it's almost like an immediate impact. And what they're trying to say is the numbers of people having it aren't high, but obviously when they do get it, it happens instantly, and that's kind of what's happened to him. So they want to go into people's medical records and so on and so forth, putting the information together, the stats, and linking it. And this is all driving us towards that MOTB, because when the financial system goes down, when the next pestilence comes, they're going to say we need to track, trace, check, be careful, monitor, and so the best way we'll do that will be through AI technology, which is something that they're pushing. So the pressure you felt in 2020 and 2021 was pressure, but it was on a minor scale. When it comes to the real MOTB, it's going to be fully maximized. What I hate about Esau, they look here, it says the blood clot stats. So if you have the particular thing, you can see written on the screen, you have that. What's the percentage? Well, the percentage is 0.001%. So this is the devil manipulating things to make it sound not so bad. 0.0001%. So what's the problem? Just take it. Well, 0.001% is actually 10 people in every million. Now, 10 people in every million doesn't sound a lot, but if you're one of those 10, that's 100% on you. It's 100%. So your 0.0001% risk, if you are one of those 10 in the million, you can say you can welcome 100% of these things happening to you. This particular situation, what you see again written on the clots, and so they're going into more stats. When you combine it with the oral contraceptive pill, 0.05%, 1 in 2,000 women well, 0.05%. Oh, it's only a 0.05%. But, if you're that woman, that 1 in 2,000, it's going to ruin your whole life. Leave you dead, send you home in a coffin, and so on and so forth. So, like I say, this is all leading us towards the MOTB. And what got me about Leon's death is the way it happened. And if I saw Leon today, I'd say, why? That's the only thing I would want to say to him. Why did you take it? Because we've had these conversations. You know what's what. You know who Esau is. You know the Edomites. The world has been given to the wicked. To the hands of the wicked. He knows all these things. You tell him, you break out scriptures to him, and he's nodding his head, going, yeah. Yet you took it. So somewhere along the line, you thought it. You trusted Esau to a certain degree, and look at what it's done. It's dealt with him. I mean, we know, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, deals with the issues of death, life and death, and so on and so forth. So you're only going to pass away if it's down to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. However, we live in a wicked world which has been set up by Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and we're coming up to this great time of temptation. So you're going to be tested. The Most High is going to test His people. Many people out here, they say, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, I call on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. They say, I have faith in the Most High, but do you really have faith? When the Edomites, you know who the Edomites are, but when they stick it on you, when they really, really stick it on you, when the Jacob's trouble stick it on you, I mean, you're still going to be calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite. You're still going to tell me you've got faith. And so that test coming, to the people very soon from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, the nation of Israel, the Most High is going to use Esau to do it, to apply the pressure, apply the test, apply the temptation. And so Leon, he fully well knew that. And that's why I can't get my head around the fact that he actually, if they said to me, oh, he died because of a car crash, he was on a boat, the boat sank, the plane went down, I'd say, okay, yeah, cool. But, to take the thing, and do you know what, if I saw him now, I'd say, what, why did you do it? How could you do that? You know what you did. He knows what he did. And I bet you he's laying in that bed. He couldn't breathe or whatever. They were telling me he had started having breathing problems. He's in the bed. Family was around him, and that was it. And I know in that moment he knows what he done, because he took, because he knows just he's not one of these people that's like supposedly asleep. The sheep, the people, following daddy government. He's supposed to be, aware. When I told him he's a Hebrew Israelite, he looked at me like sideways, like, yeah, of course. So, but look at it now. You trusted Esau just once, and it cost you. And he was tempted. You see So I told my wife, I was like, oh, Leon's basically dead. So she was shocked, and then I was chatting to her about it, and then she said, well, maybe he had to go, because I didn't ask why he had to get the flight at the time. I was just a bit shocked. So then she said, well, maybe he had to get the flight to some relative was dying. I go, well, yeah, well, F that, because now you're dead. So you can say, oh, yeah, my relative's dying, I need to get the flight, I'm going to take the jump shot. I know Esau, Edom, he's the devil, but, I'm going to, just slide in on this one. Well, now you didn't slide. You just slid straight into the coffin, straight into the ground. That's all he did. So, and, like I say, if he was here today, I'd tell him the same thing straight up. But, this is Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now, this hour of temptation is when you're offered the MOTB. You're told, you can have this in order to buy and sell, because if you don't take this, there'll be no other way to buy and sell. And you can have Jacob's trouble going on around you, a breakdown in society, a real loss in communication, and violence, and all these manic things going on around you. And the government are going to say, look, if you take this MOTB, this device under your skin, this AI device, we can operate in a new world and get away from all these problems. And we'll do it through this MOTB. And if you don't join it, then you can't be part of that new world, and you have to stay behind in that old world, which is collapsing very fast right before your eyes. This is Jacob's trouble. The Most High is bringing the end of this kingdom, and he's using the Edomites to orchestrate it by bringing up, upon us World War III, Jacob's trouble, the MOTB. So when it speaks of the hour of temptation, this is a time of temptation. Okay, if I said to you, "Oh, you can't buy or sell for an hour without having the MOTB," what kind of temptation is that? Oh, so from midday to 1 p.m, nobody can buy or sell unless they have the MOTB, and that's supposed to be temptation. We just watch a football game. It'll last an hour and a half, and the hour will be gone. The hour you fly by, you wouldn't even notice it. You go back out into the world. So what's that? What's the hour? It's the time. When you look at it, it goes back into a time, the time of temptation, and this time could go on for a number of weeks or a number of months. It won't go on for a number of years. It's definitely going to be in the category of weeks or months when the MOTB gets made mandatory, a time when nobody on this planet Earth will be able to buy or sell without that MOTB. You want to be delivered by Hashem Yahushai in the day of destruction, you can't have that MOTB. So there's the temptation. How long, they're going to make, let's just say they make the MOTB mandatory tomorrow. You now can't buy or sell. How much steel and determination is in you to now ride it out until Yahushua comes back. Could be a couple of days, could be a couple of weeks, could be a couple of months. And the longer it goes on, the harder it's going to get. And things are going to be going on around you, making your life a misery in order to push you into getting that MOTB. And that's the temptation. So, it's gonna get real bad. That's why I say the temptation that was, when you look around in 2020 and 2021, I remember myself, I got to a point where I had to tell my boss, I had to say, look, if this thing gets made mandatory, what was happening in 2021, if this thing gets made mandatory, I can't work here. I'm gonna have to cut out. And she was cool. She was like, yeah, don't worry, we'll see what happens when it. She goes, I think obviously a couple of people maybe told her the same thing. And, then they start looking at it like, oh, hang on a minute, I could lose half my workforce here. Eventually, look what happened. The problem disappeared. It went away. I never had to change jobs. I never lost a job. Just carried on working. So there was a moment of temptation there, and you could have taken the thing, could have trusted the Edomites to take the thing to keep my job, and I said, nah. I had to speak up. I had to say, no, look, listen, I'm going to be determined through this that mini time of temptation and not take it. But then when it comes to the MOTB, it's going to be on, like I say, maximum overdrive. The temptation is going to be unreal. You're only going to survive that time if the Holy Spirit's working on you, because only the servants of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai will be eating. So if you're not a servant, the Spirit's not on you, you're not eating, you then expect that pressure within you to be maximized, the time of temptation. And if you're weak, I've said this before, if you were weak in 2020, 21, 22, if you were weak, you took the thing, or you took a test, you got these Edomites were put in, when you go back to that time and you watch the propaganda that came out of the TV, out of the news, and these Edomites, they stuck it on you. Literally, they said, you've got to take this is you've got to have this thing, blah 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 blah. And many people bowed down. They gave in. They collapsed. They're weak. They have no faith, and they don't have the Spirit within them. But those that did, they stood firm. They said, "No, I'm not going to have it." People were even saying, if you don't take it, you're going to catch thing off. There's all these people around you. They're all coughing up the place. Nah, F that. I don't care. I'm going to ride it out. It says, scriptures tell you that no plague shall come nigh thy dwelling. And if you really believe it, you're a Hebrew Israelite, you're a member of the elect, you're hoping to be, you believe it, then it should come to pass. But those that are kind of like weak, like Leon, for example, if he was tempted to take the thing to get the flight, and it cost him his life inside the month, then what would have happened come the time of the MOTB? It wouldn't have lasted. He would have said, I've got 4 or 5 kids, I've got to feed them. I think he's got 5, but maybe 4. And so imagine the pressure of that, not being able to feed the children. I think his eldest is like 18. So all the others are all younger than that. And so you think the MOTB will come, who knows what would happen, but this is when the real pressure comes. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, the time of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, every single person, to try them that dwell upon the earth. And it says to try them. And when you look up that word to try, this is piradzo. This is the ancient Greek, of course, piradzo, and you've got here to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, endeavor, to try, make trial of, test, the purpose of ascertaining his quality, or what he thinks, or how he will behave himself. So, when you think of that little testing period that we went through, 2020, 21, 22, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the world only went through one situation, hand in hand, through those years. And in that time, the powers that be, the elites, they know what they're going to do. They know what they're going to, this MOTB, this AI digitization, what's coming, Jacob's trouble. They know it's about to happen. They're orchestrating it. And what they wanted to do was ascertain the quality of the people, what you think, by bringing in that to try you. So that was like a mini try. The Most High put the spirit on the Edomites to try the people, and we got to see who was weak, who wasn't. But that wasn't the real test. That was just like a mock up, if you like. But when you look at B, for example, this is the word to try, piradzo, says in a bad sense, to test one maliciously, craftily, to put to the proof his feelings or judgments. Says to try or test one's faith, virtue, character by enticement to sin. And so this is what we're saying to you. The Edomites are set up to do that by Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai wants to test his people and see how much faith you got. When it comes down to the time of the MOTB, you can't buy or sell because you're not going to take the MOTB. You call yourself a man of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Well, the Most High is going to test you. He's going to say, okay, you say you've got faith. Well, you can't buy or sell. Look what Esau told you. You can't buy or sell without the MOTB. Now you got to wait for me. You got to wait for Yahushai to come back. Could be a couple of days, could be a couple of weeks, could be a couple of months. What are you going to do? And that's when the pressure starts to apply. That's when your faith gets tested. And that's why I say, you can only if you've got the Holy Spirit working on you, only if the faith is given to you, will you be able to survive that time. Those in America, anyone that, those Israelites that do take it, you're going to end up, being destroyed in the lake of fire, nuclear ICBM. Those hoping to be a part of the elect pretty much cannot take it. But these Edomites, it's the Most High has set up these Edomites to test your faith. So the test is of the faith by the Most High, but he's using the Edomites to do it. So you look at the Edomites, you go, oh, you wicked people, you devils. Yeah, but that's the Most High's tool, to solicit, to sin, to tempt, of the temptations of the devil. And what do we tell you? That the Edomites are the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. The righteous people are, the Hebrew Israelites, and that's where you have back to that balance. You have that perfect balance of a wicked nation versus a righteous nation. And at the minute, the wicked nation are in rule, but they're about to go down, and their wickedness has taken them as far as producing these ICBMs, and it's the wickedness of the ICBMs that will actually end this empire. But just looking back at the word peradzo, after the Old Testament usage of the Most High to inflict evils upon one in order to prove his character and the steadfastness of his faith. And that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen in the time of temptation. The Most High is going to inflict evils. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai will inflict evils, the time of Jacob's trouble, upon the whole world to prove the character and the steadfastness of faith. And only out of all the nations, there's only one nation that can possibly have faith in Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. That is the nation of Israel. And out of that nation, there's only going to be a small number of people that will actually have that faith and survive that time of Jacob's trouble and ultimately be delivered on the day of the Lord. The elect, the 144,000 plus the men and women and children of the elect. It says, men are said to tempt the Most High by exhibitions of distrust, as though they wished to try whether he is not justly distrusted. So, you got these people out here that say, oh, you can take the MOTB and you can pull it out, just before the Lord comes back. Well, do you think that the Most High can't see you? And so is that your way of getting around the temptation? The Most High saying, look, the MOTB is mandatory. You can't now buy or sell. I want to test your faith. You got to wait for Yahweh Shai to come back. What are you going to do? You're going to take Esau's thing in your device in your skin, or you're going to wait with your faith on me? And so by saying, oh, I'll put the chip in my hand, and then when the Lord comes back, I'll just take it out. You don't have the faith. You don't have trust. You're trying to do two things at once, and you think the Most High can't do that. Can't see what you're doing. So it's actually a stupid, really stupid thing to say. Oh, you can just take the chip out just before the Most High comes. Not to mention the fact that once you put it inside your skin, it will fuse with your skin, and then it will eventually just be stuck in there. So then how are you going to be able to just whip it out? So, but it's a stupid thing, because by saying, oh, I can take it, and when the Most High comes back, I'll just whip it out, take it out. I haven't got the mark of the beast. Yeah, but he tested your faith, and you basically said, oh, I ain't really sure. I'm going to take this MOTB just in case. Oh, but now the Most High's back, I'll cut it out and throw it out. So Most High don't want people like that. I can tell you that straight. It says, the last one here says, by impious or wicked conduct to test the Most High's justice and patience, and to challenge him, as it were, to give proof of his perfections. And back to the faith, you see, these Edomites are going to stick it on you. You can't buy or sell without this device. It's going to go on for days, weeks, or months. Now what are you going to do? And because, if you're saying, I want to see something from the Most High before I believe, then forget it. You're not going to stand a chance. You got to have that faith. You got to believe. And obviously, there will be during the time of Jacob's trouble, there will be divine intervention taking place, spiritual things, angels may appear, or the Most High may put the Spirit on the enemies of the members of the elect to come and help them, and so on and so forth, in order to get by. And there will be a standard lifted, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, spiritual power into certain members of the elect. And they will be able to help, and so obviously through that, the servants of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever they are, will be able to eat. So just before, so that was piradzo, that was to try, and the root of that is pirah, as a trial, an experience, attempt, to attempt a thing, to make trial of a thing, or of a person, to have a trial of a thing, to experience, learn to know by experience. So when the day the MOTB is mandatory and you can't buy or sell without it, no credit cards, no cash, no nothing. If you're going to buy or sell, there's going to be a day when you're told you can't buy or sell without the MOTB. You believe in this truth, you believe in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, you can't take the MOTB. And now you have to experience. And so this is where your faith really gets tested. You see, you could be teaching and preaching and calling on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai for years. For years and for years and for years. You could be out there doing so much work in the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. All perfect, all exactly perfect work according to the Most High. You could do it for 2 decades. And then what happens? Then the time of temptation comes, you take the MOTB. All that work goes out the window. All goes out the window. So this is the real, that's when you know the real experience. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be out there, doing your thing. I'm out here making my videos. That is obviously in order to spread the word, to do my part, whatever it is, my small part, to spread the word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, the truth of the gospel. But my point I'm trying to say is that, that when the MOTB is mandatory and now your faith gets tested, that's the real experience. And that experience, if it goes badly for you, it can wipe out anything you've done before that, because the Most High will look at you and say, well, you've taken that MOTB, it's done now, it's too late. I can't, once you take it, the Most High can't help you, because it's already written, it's already prophecy, it's already said that way. So if you take the MOTB and then the Most High then changes his mind, actually, I really want to deliver you, he'd have to re-change the scriptures. He'd have to go all the way back to the beginning, and we'd have to do it all over again, all these thousands of years, and that ain't going to happen. So it says, anyone in America, for example, where that great deliverance, that great destruction will take place, anyone in America who takes the MOTB, Hebrew Israelite, and you won't be delivered, and you will die there in the destruction. And that is true. And this is all an experience. It says, learn to know by experience. And you think of the 2/3 and the other nations, they're all going to suffer during this time of Jacob's trouble through the destruction. And this is the experience. The Most High is going to try the whole world. They're going to learn to know by experience. And coming out of the other side of this, we're going to have the kingdom of heaven set up, and the Most High's name is going to be magnified. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. The name is going to be magnified like it was after ancient Egypt. You don't want Hebrew Israelites to come around calling on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, because then shit's going to go down, and these other nations got a problem, and that all starts with the destruction that comes, and the changeover, and then the ruling of the nations. This is all, to learn to know by experience. And it's all starting from Jacob's trouble. So I hope that's edifying. Like I say, that this lesson was born out of someone I know who, I feel a little bit let down that he took it. If I'm honest, I think, if I saw him now, I would say that to him. I'd say I feel a little bit let down. I'm not your dad, I'm not his dad or anything, but we have conversations. I knew him well. We spoke of the truth and so on and so forth. So that's the first thing I'd say to him. It's like, why did you do it? You know that I feel a little bit let down that you did it, but it is what it is. He's in the spirit world, so he's comfortable. He knew the name Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and it is what it is. So Leon, he felt like he needed that flight, and he was tempted to let me take the jump shot and the flight, and I'm cool. And look at that tiny little bit of temptation, was the wrong thing to do. It's quite clear, and now he's not here no more. So I'm gonna leave it right there. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakah Kwadash. Until next time, Shalom.